Yesterday, I received an article from BuzzFeedNews.com with this particular article. My brother is so far gone. How male influencers term the men in these people's lives toxic. Now, for this article, they revolve around, for the most part, three entities. The first is Andrew Tate. Secondarily, Fresh and Fit. And last but never least, the late, great Kevin Samuels. And in this particular article written by Ade Onubada, people that were from, let's say, the audience or readers, were turning in their perspective of how these toxic influencers have changed their brother's, boyfriend's, or husband's life. And I want to talk about basically what they said about Kevin Samuels, okay? Now, this lady whose name is Kennedy Ezra, she says, my brother is 20 years old. We were raised to be kind and nice people and generally respectful. Last year, he started sending me clips of Kevin Samuels saying things like, finally someone gets it. He would make insinuations about needing to change the way he was because he was a beta. He began to say things like women need to be reminded of their place, or black women need to go back to being homemakers and supporting their black kings. But one of the most startling behavior changes I've noticed was that he was starting to become more violent towards women. He began sharing posts on Facebook about how it's okay to beat women if they step out of line, or how women are not being high value. It's like he doesn't even recognize reality or the poor arguments that he is making. Now, similar things were said about Andrew Tate in Fresh and Fit. And of course, these things can happen. I don't know how real these accounts are, because anybody could turn in something on the email or write and publish that. It could be the person creating the article themselves that's doing that. But is it plausible that guys that take in content from people, could they skew it? Sure. But I want to talk about somebody else that people have skewed his content and taken it out of context. I'll name two historical figures. One is Jesus Christ. Okay. Jesus Christ is the most known individual in the history of the world. Jesus Christ taught us about love, forgiveness, humility, how to serve God, everything that is positive about his message. If you think about everything that we have today, we have hospitals in the name of Jesus. There are universities in the name of Jesus. Okay. I went to medical school in Poland, and in the hospitals, there's the cross. In the public hospital. So there's no more person influential than Jesus Christ. If that is the case, how do you get Jim Jones? Not the rapper, the preacher, who in his sick mind, 900 people or more got poisoned. How do you get somebody like Muhammad, who's not equally as popular as Jesus, but he's second, one of the most influential people of all time? Muhammad's message was none of that of terrorism. And shout out to the Islamic brothers out there and sisters who live the law according to the Quran. But how do you get Al-Shabaab, Al-Qaeda, ISIS? These are people who have taken the message and done something else different with it. So is it likely that people could spin it off? I mean, we even seen with the Nation of Islam in the nation, 5% nation. Okay, Clarence 13X, he spinned it off. So there are people that can put something into a message and spin it off, because Kevin Samuels never talked about hurting women, never talked about violence against women. But see, here's a situation. Because these people have their own toxic minds, and then they spin it. You want to blame the content creators, then blame Jesus Christ for any religion that scams people, for any religion that takes people's money, for any pastors that sleep with women in the church. You don't blame Jesus for that, do you? You don't. Muhammad should never be blamed for the mistakes of those who follow him. But now for Andrew Tate in Fresh and Fit, and I can understand the latter two for having some toxic stuff in Sneeko. I get that. And some of that stuff cannot be defended in that case. But here's what I want to say. Why are men even feeling like there even needs to be a voice for them? See, that's what we're not dealing with. What you want to talk about is that, these guys, these toxic influencers are changing my brother's life. No, they're already being mishandled as it is in today's world. You see, the unfairness and unbiased towards men is already evident. What some of these guys are saying in the manosphere, and some of it can be out of line, definitely. But a lot of things that they're saying about what's going on in society as it relates to men, it's 100% true. Not everything they're saying is toxic. A lot of times you listen to Andrew Tate, you might say some of the things he says is definitely out of line, but what he's talking about is what's going on. Kevin Samuels, could some of the stuff that he could say be offensive to people because it's subjective? But what he was saying is what's going on. What you will not hear is how many people that they have helped. That's the other thing. How many people have Kevin Samuels helped bring together, helped marry, helped change lives? Everything is about toxicity, but the environment that men are dealing in is the most toxic. In other words, you are supposed to accept what's going on right now and do nothing. If you're doing whatever women want you to do, it's the best thing. And that's the issue there. Where is the there is no duplicity in this. Sure, yes, there are some men out there, if they're saying things like that, violence against women to advocate, it's definitely wrong. Definitely wrong. I can't condone that. But now, can we have some fairness? Women talk about equality. You don't see men getting any kind of equality. Men are better off shutting up, being literally abused by, what feminists can say about men, what people are saying about men, especially on talk shows. I mean, we've heard it in the black community with the Oprah thing in the 90s, bringing multiple women on, talking about how black men are down low, insulting black men. It's okay. It's okay if you say nothing. And that is the issue. Why are men so compelled to these people? It's almost like a revolution in civil rights, right? And I would never compare the social media manosphere to civil rights. I'm not going to do that. But I will say it's similar. Look at what happens in, these countries: Egypt, Morocco, Sudan. Some of these, what we consider military coups. What happens? People feel compelled that something is not right. So how they handle it might be in the wrong way. Men handle things in the wrong way at times. I definitely will not disagree. But what about the environments that are against them? The dating environments. You have guys that have many different facets of the manosphere. There's now in the black sector, the passport bros that are growing one. Then you have before them save yourself black men. People are looking to get away from what's going on here. Marriages are less across the country. It's not because these toxic influencers. These things were happening before these guys, and it just that somebody started talking about it. These situations were the case before. But who wants to be accountable to the things that are against men? That's what I'm saying. Where's the equality in the discussion? It's too one-sided. That's the issue. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. I'm out.